So we tried to do the yeast, the elephant toothpaste, but I think because of COVID, it was really hard to find yeast, and the only thing that I could find was called brewer's yeast. I don't know if it just wasn't the right kind of yeast. We couldn't get it done, but so we had our hydrogen peroxide, our brewer's yeast, and it said to mix it with warm water, which I did, but it didn't do anything. And our soap, our dishwashing soap, our food coloring, and it came out to this disgusting, gross liquid thing. So it did not work, but I can still talk about the chemical reaction. So what should have happened in that reaction is that we should have been able to see a rapid decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide. That would have happened because hydrogen peroxide is fairly unstable normally, and over time it will break down into gas and water. But for this experiment we used a catalyst to speed that reaction up. In this case, the catalyst would have been the baker's yeast if we had had it, or the potassium iodide, which is another thing I could not find. I went to 5 different stores, GNC, Vitamin Shop, 2 different Walmarts, grocery store pharmacies, just no one has it, and I'm not sure why. Same with the baker's yeast, and again, I think that's because of COVID, and the stores being short of everything, but there was no baker's yeast to be found. So anyway, this experiment, we would have seen the hydrogen peroxide break down quicker, and with actual physical reaction that we could see, that we could perceive with our eyes. Because once it's broken down, heat was produced. That makes it an exothermic reaction. And I actually noticed another thing looking at that hydrogen peroxide that I was using. It was actually only 3%. I think that the video called for 10% or 30%. I didn't realize at the time that that's what I was using. So lack of appropriate hydrogen peroxide and lack of baker's yeast, I think, led to a failure of the experiment. But I do understand what was supposed to happen.